Welcome to Big Boy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. This is Around the Blockchain. We come to you Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, DZ. And if you like making money in crypto, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And today we're going to be talking our favorite topic. That's right, crypto, with some of our favorite guests. We're going to get right into it. But today I'm starting on the bottom left. We're going to start with Altcoin Daily. He has the thumbs up. So, I got to bring it to him first. Really, really great breakdown by his brother on the Chamath Palihapitiya talking Web3. So if you like all-in podcasts, get that Altcoin Daily breakdown. Also, in the bottom right, we have first time being on the show. No, this isn't Richard Branson's grandson. This is Crypto Lifer. He put out a really good video on you live stream all the time, man. I really like it. And you were saying before we go live, you put out a lot of content, man.
Yeah, I haven't taken a day off in over a year. I see no point. You know, Ben kicking it. All you guys kicking it, man. Crypto Love threw me in the game. He was good friends with Ben.
I'm bullish. Yeah, man. Bullish on Lifer and bullish on that work ethic. Good stuff. Also in that top right corner, we have Crypto Jebb, who actually gave a good interview on Altcoin Daily. And you know what? It's like their best performing video in, I think, in a couple weeks. So Jebb is the secret sauce. Is that Jebb Daily collab that the world needed. No one knew that they needed it, but they did need it. And of course, in the top left spot, we have Ben Armstrong. And listen up, Cardano gang. He's starting to like Cardano NFTs, I've maybe heard. So, maybe he's ready to, rep some ADA. If you like ADA, go ahead and let us know in the chat. Hashtag ADA. So really good stuff, man. I'm really looking forward to, you continuing your NFT journey here, Ben Armstrong.
Yeah, and I also got my haircut since the morning, if everybody noticed.
Yeah. It was I couldn't watch the live. I mean, I was so distracted. I was
very distracted. I was distracted myself.
On the hair. I was focused on the hair. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin. Oh my geez, what happened today? We're going to just jump right into it. Also, we have Crypto J Clayton. We have some insiders, some government insiders moving into crypto. And we have AirBNB following AMC, and they're going to start accepting crypto. The plans are underway, and it's confirmed. But before we get into that, you know what time it is, everybody. You know what time it is. It's time for that black and white plane to fly around the globe. It is the cryptocurrency market watch. Let's see what is going. Oh, wow. All right, so it was a little bit lower. It was a lot scarier. Everybody was getting a little bit worried, but it looks like it's maybe, maybe he wants to find his level of support. I saw it at 42.9 at one point, 8th at 3.567, down 6%, down 5%, Binance down 5%, Sol down almost 10%, Cardano down a whole lot. It is looking a little bit scary. Now, Jebb, I'm going to bring it to you here. You're the TA guy. Was this foreseen? I know we were in this, we're crab walking sideways. We told you yesterday with Gareth, if it's going to move violently in any direction. And sure enough, it happened the very next day. Jebb, was there anything, in the tea leaves that said this was about to happen?
Yeah, no, I would agree with that statement that if it's going to move violently. Yeah, so basically there's a downtrend on, and if you give me just a second, I can actually pull up a screen share here.
Oh, and, people love the screen. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. Can you see that all right? We here?
Yeah,
good deal.
We see it.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now is that Bitcoin was in a descending triangle pattern right here. We talked about this over on our show yesterday, and I believe Tim talked about it on our show this morning. I wasn't there for it, but I'm pretty sure he did. There was a descending triangle pattern, and we talked about how potentially this could cause us to break all the way down to about $42,000. We've actually been talking about how $42,000 is a level that we could see Bitcoin pull back down to again, because that's where we pulled back on December the 3rd. And what we're actually looking at right now is Bitcoin is pulled back down to a downtrending level of support right here. This downtrending level of support currently sits around $43,800. We're currently around $43,800. And I do think that this is actually a good thing. A lot of people might say, Jebb, why is that a good thing that Bitcoin just had a massive break to the downside? I'd say because every time you see the end of an accumulation period, like what we've seen the last 2 times this year, generally speaking, it ends with a big drop to the downside, followed by a big movement to the upside. And oftentimes that's what's called a spring. I want to see volatility come back into the space. I want us to really confirm what the bottom is. And if we're able to have a proper move to the upside from there, then that's going to be a good thing. We need to see volatility, and we really need to establish a floor because we obviously weren't confident enough at 46,000, so maybe we'll be confident enough down here at 44.
Okay, yeah, and that's going to break us into our first topic here. Bitcoin RSI is oversold, especially after today's activity. When we see the RSI heading down and higher lows, I actually want to share my screen here real quick because I'm gonna spoon feed you here a little bit. Hidden bullish divergence is what happens when the price makes a higher low on the price, whereas the RSI, the oscillator, is showing a lower low. So that was what you call a hidden bullish divergence. This is when the pair is in an uptrend. Now, Crypto Lifer, I know you dabble in the charts a tad here. Is this
I wish I could have showed my screen.
Yeah. That's, we'll get there. We'll get there. It's your first, you're back in late January, man. So you know what? We got something to look forward to, but just generally speaking, does this lower low kind of invalidate that, since, we did have higher lows, but then boom, it just came down really hard?
I'll tell you what, I'll give you some insight into this on the RSI. Now, the weekly Stokes, I look at the weekly and the 2 week. A lot of people don't look at the 2 week. The longer you trade, the more you can look at bigger time frames. That's why people get wealthier, because they're able to trade longer time frames. It's interesting. When you're small and you're trying to grind out, you're stuck in the daily. You're stuck in, even the daily is a good time frame, but you have to be in markets for 4, 5, 6, 7 years to start using the weekly, the 2 week a lot, because you can see them coming to fruition. I see the 2 week chart in a good spot. I see the 3 day in a nice spot. I even see hidden bullish divergence on the 3 day chart for Bitcoin. However, we broke below that 50 on the weekly. We haven't done that ever in a bull run. That candle's below it now today, and that's confirmed. That has me a little worried, dropping below that weekly. However, I've been calling for a reversal. I eventually will call a bottom publicly. That's the thing on my channel. I like to eventually say, hey, I'm all in at this point. I went all in at 40K. I went all in at 32.4. I showed my trades. I talked about it. I even went in on Phantom at 18 and 22 cents there. Heavy, heavy, heavy. We all benefited very good in my trading group. We killed it. So I see some indecision. We are extremely oversold. The daily, the 3 day, and the 2 week all want to reverse. So I see reversal happening, but at the same time, I need to get us above that 52K. We cannot seem to get above 52K. That's been a very, very bad level of resistance.
Yeah. So, and all right. Well, good to know. I want to share the screen one last time here. And this is kind of saying what Jebb was saying about the volume. So the volume right now, if you look at the volume, the lowest it was, of the past year was that summer doldrums. What happened there? The price started to go up. But now in January, we're seeing, very, very low. But let's go back 12 months. Look what happens. It always kind of slows down around Christmas. But then January was just a monumental monumental month a year ago. Ben, is there anything that, was that a narrative thing, whether it was Tesla or, MicroStrategy, the kind of momentum from that? Or is this a thing, January's here, maybe interest is going to spike? Can you see volume, moving up in a kind of a long-term trend here?
Well, Bitcoin last year, 2 years ago at Christmas time now, I guess you say a year and 2 weeks ago or so, Bitcoin had hit a big momentum stride and it was already swinging up into January. So I don't think there's like a lot we can really take from the volume from last year at this time. You got to remember, we were at all-time highs at this time last year. Now we are really moving into a place where I want you guys to think about this. In the next, we could see Bitcoin, if Bitcoin dropped down to $40,000, okay? If Bitcoin dropped down to $40,000, that would mean that we would be, let's see, when did it hit 42K? It hit 42K January 4th, okay? So basically, if the price were to drop down to, let's say, 41,000, we would be looking at basically very close to a negative year over year. We have not seen a negative year over year in a bull run ever. So, generally a bull run, you're moving up from the previous lows. And so you're blowing past numbers. We are at a very similar place. Like, what is today? The 5th? Last year on the 5th, let me go to the daily chart. I know I'm not showing this, actually. I could be showing you my screen instead of just talking about it. Actually, let me do that. I will show my screen so people will see what I'm talking about here.
Loves the charts. I think it's just one letter off.
They love the charts. The charts and chats. One letter off.
Yeah,
charts and chats. It's missing an
Beards, Bitcoin, okay.
Okay. So if we go back here and we look at where things were at this time last year on January 5th, Bitcoin peaked out at let's see, January 5th, it peaked out at 34,500. But a few days later on the 8th, it peaked out at 42,000. So that means if sometime in the next 3 days, if we were to, and I can just draw a straight line here going across from that peak there on the 8th, about right there. So if we dip below this yellow line right here, that means we would be negative year over year, which is really crazy for Bitcoin. We've never seen anything close to like this. And I do think that we are looking at a situation where we have pretty much penetrated every level of support that we had that could keep us from dipping down to 42K. I like what Jebb showed us there, where he showed us that the big long wick that went down to 42K. In this sideways action we've been in now for a month, there's nothing in between where we're at now in that wick. There's no support level between now and there. So I think that's why, like, I have a lot of people freaking out, texting me and calling me and sending me messages and like, should I sell and blah, 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 blah. We've been saying it could go to 42K for a while. 42K is a pretty strong level. There are not a lot of people that I know that are concerned about it breaching 40K. 40 to 42K, people are still pretty comfortable with that number at this point. I mean, I don't know what the time frame is or the timeline for when we're going to 100K, but as long as we stay above that number, I think, a lot of people are still confident that's where we're going.
Yeah, I believe that's where we're going as well. And altcoin, I know you're a long-term trader strategist here. You're not really in the daily trading. You're not looking at 10-minute charts, 4-hour charts, 24-minute charts. You like to buy, you like to hodl, you like to wait for larger time frames here. But after every cycle, we'll see a long string of red months, and I think it's fair to, say a 6-month timeline from now. Is this something that, maybe you're kind of seeing, or do you think those days might possibly be over where the miners, they reach peak dumpage, and then we'll have 6 to 10 months of just red action, red action, red action, and then, maybe it'll start to, and then there's a bull run. Are those days behind us forever, do you think?
Thanks, DZ. Great to be here. Yeah, as you said, I'm not worried about the minute chart. I'm not worried about the day chart. I'm trying to make
it's the second chart you like. You like the 30-second
like
chart.
Crypto. I'm on the long-term time frames, like Crypto Lifer was talking about. I'm trying to make the real money. But here's the thing. Am I scared? Do I think that this bull run's over, if you can even call it the traditional bull run that we're all hoping we're in and we're all used to? I'm not worried at these prices. I wouldn't even be worried if Bitcoin went down to $39,000. I mean, the only thing that would worry me is like maybe if Bitcoin spent time in something other than a non-tradable wick below $30,000, because in the past 6 months, we're making a series of higher lows and we made maybe a higher high. And I think eventually we will break out. As far as cycles, unless we see a big cycle top in the next month or two, I think the 4-year cycles that we're all used to may be over. And I think now going forward, we'll see maybe the crypto market decoupling from each other, DeFi coins decoupling from metaverse projects, decoupling from Bitcoin, however it goes. But I think we're in uncharted territory, and that's exciting.
Yeah, I like that assessment. I do agree with you there. I think the crypto ecosystems will start to differentiate each other and, hopefully, like you said, decouple where, DeFi can have a good year. And if Bitcoin's having a bad time, it won't just drag everything down. Same with gaming, same with whether it's, staking or anything like that. But all right, last question on this topic. We definitely want to cover some Bitcoin news here. Now, Jebb, we're talking about this RSI and the monthly RSI. And, it is looking like, possibly this is uptrend. This is signaling some uptrend. This is signaling, some buying opportunities. Does this seem like the real McCoy to you, or is this all Fugazi?
Well, I'm so glad that you asked because, first of all, I want to say I actually completely agree with everything every single other panelist has said, but there's a few things I want to add on to that. I want to look at that RSI. I'm going to run through this really quickly for the sake of time, and then I'll kind of wrap it all up into a point at the end. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. If you can see my screen, then I want to show you the monthly chart out here on Bitcoin. To start with your question, Bitcoin pulling back on the monthly chart RSI. It's currently sitting at 57. There's actually an uptrend right now on the monthly chart RSI that goes all the way back to December of 2018. Then it also has a touch here on the 1st of March. March. And if you extrapolate it down, then the RSI only needs to drop about another point or two for us to pull back down to this uptrend where we would hopefully bounce off of. This is the first reason that I'm going to say here in about 2 minutes that we're at a decision point. The second reason is because if you look at the previous bull run in 2016-17, it ended in a descending triangle pattern. So for all of our analysts out there, these typically break to the downside. These typically don't break to the upside. Now, if we're looking at the last couple of years during this bull market over the last year, we've actually entered an ascending triangle pattern, and you can see it right here. This ascending triangle pattern is currently being tested with this drop. You can see that we're attaching bottoms on the log chart here from the 26th of November 2020, the bottom here on the 20th of July 2021, and then right here. I do believe, based on those things and also based on what Ben said, that 42,000 is a previous all-time high. It's where we were almost exactly a year ago. That this level here between 42 and 44 is remarkably important. The question now is, are we going to bounce off of it or are we not? So the two things that can happen is, one, Bitcoin could have a lot of people buy the dip over the next 7 days, and if they do, then we would continue in this symmetrical triangle pattern, and we would break up to $60,000, $70,000 in the next 2 months, and we would continue the bull market in a major way. If we don't do that and we do break below $42,000, then we probably could see Bitcoin pulling back to a 37 or a 34 or maybe even a 30. But the thing I really want to encourage people in is that Bitcoin right now, the entire year of 2021 really was not a growth year for the charts so much as it was a growth year for the industry. It was a growth year for NFTs and blockchain gaming and the influencers in the space. Like pretty much all of our channels quadrupled in size last year because of how many people came into the cryptocurrency space. Everybody knows about crypto now. What we saw at the tail end of 2020 and the first 2 months of 2021 was a massive rally where Bitcoin exploded hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars in market capitalization. What I think we've witnessed over the last 12 months, and what I think we're still witnessing, is that Bitcoin ran too far ahead, and instead of ever going into a bear market, what it has instead done is it has traded sideways in between $40,000 and $60,000. I personally think that's very healthy because the underlying intrinsic value of Bitcoin has continued to increase. The technicals say, yes, 42 is an important decision point, but frankly, no matter what it does, Bitcoin has grown its fundamental use case, its fundamental value proposition. So has the rest of the cryptocurrency space over the last 12 months. And that is going to lead to a much higher price in the long run. As Lifer and Altcoin Daily said, it's a long-term play. It's not about the 30-second chart. It's about the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, and we will be going over that use case in the last segment. Man, TA was really, really good. But your line drawing and removing on TradingView is even better. Chat, go ahead, hit that like button if you like some TA, if you like the charts. Chat was saying we went from win Lambo to win use Kia to win Hyundai. So you guys keep putting up these funny comments. You know, try to make us crack while we're up here. But let's talk a little. Oh wait. You know what time it is. We skipped it last time.
Forgot our Mickey D hats.
We got it. We got to get it in real quick. It is lightning round time, and today's lightning round, just real quick, yes or no. We're going to start with Ben and go counterclockwise. Long or short for the rest of January, Ben?
Ooh, well, I gotta say long because we're on a dip right now. If we were, still at 46 or 47, I may go the other way, but I'm going long at this point because even if it does bounce down to 42, I think it's going to bounce back up pretty quickly, maybe right back to where we're at now, 40, 43.5, somewhere around there.
All right.
And then, hopefully get some momentum for the rest of the month.
Yeah, hopefully. And on the bottom left corner, Altcoin Daily, bullish or bearish? Are we long or short January here?
I'm going to go long. I don't see it going below 39K.
All right. I like it. I like it. Lifer, where do you lay on this hot topic?
So hard for me to say yes or no because it's like, as a trader, I'm never committed. I'm always watching.
No, I want you to predict exactly what's happening 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can. No, I don't see 60K. I'll tell you that by any means.
Fair enough.
I would long Bitcoin if I had to make a call. I have yesterday about $1,000 on the stream live. I've been buying 500 here, 1,000 here. Whenever that fear and greed index gets into that 15, 20, anywhere below 30, I'm shelling out. And it's never been bad for me. Last 5 years I've done that. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. But for me personally, whenever I take some of my capital and I put it into Bitcoin, when the fear and greed index is below 30, I love to get in at 12 and 10. I mean, that's the sweet spot. It's never hurt me. As long as I've held for a couple of years, it's been the best move of my life. And that's why I'm here. So I would have to continue to long in DCA right now. into these.
It's never hurt me.
Nice
I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say the same for crypto. Jebb, long or short for January?
Neither. And I'll tell you why. We're in a confirmed downtrend, but we've been in it for 2 months, so I'm expecting an uptrend around the corner, but I wouldn't enter a swing trade long until I actually have that confirmation. So I would be sitting on the, I'm not trying to swing trade a movement to the upside. I'm looking for investments, but if I was, I would personally be sitting on the fence waiting for a little bit more confirmation bullish.
All right. All right. Well, let's get to the second topic. I want to get through this real quick. Won't spend too much time, but SEC employees, that's right, we're talking about this guy right here. Hey, what are you talking about? Not me. Yeah, Jay Clayton, he just joined the advisory board for 2 crypto companies, and this is the former U.S. SEC chairman. So we're not talking about, you know, a low-level intern, a decker. You know, this is the top of the top here. So he just joined Fireblocks and One River Digital Management. Ripple CEO had some hot words for this. Mr. Clayton has stifled the crypto industry while in office, yet now he calls for the government to facilitate the adoption of technology. Now, Altcoin Daily, knowing that this guy is, you know, investing or advising a couple projects on the side, they have him on for an advisor. If you see a move like that, like a former government head, a Jay Clayton as an advisor, does that make you bullish or bearish for the project?
First of all, I think Brad Garlinghouse is bad for the industry because he's flooding my Bitcoin and Ethereum bags all the time. But
all right, 2 points.
Second of all, yeah, I think, I mean, just generally, this just like big picture zooming out. I think we generally see this all the time where these politicians will spend years in office, and we usually see it with like the banks, like when Obama or even Hillary, they do these speeches or they become advisors for huge sums of money. It doesn't matter the party, they all do it. So I think generally this kind of things happening is good. These, politicians, then joining cryptocurrency companies, they're just, it's just part of the game. And I'm sure that these crypto companies are paying them a lot. So I think generally it's probably good.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit more than the government paying job there. He's not alone. There have been other instances of this. The former acting comptroller of U.S. currency, Brian Brooks, he joined Binance.us. So, this is a trend, and obviously we see it with, a Goldman Sachs. The regular Wall Street firms continuously, hire these people right from the office. They walk across the street, next thing you know, they have a nice little placard on their desk. Now, I'm going to bring it to you, Crypto Lifer here. Do you think that having these former regulators in the crypto space is good for the industry as a whole?
Well, like we go to all these industries, they all get money from the people that they're supposed to regulate. And that seems to be the running way of American companies and American regulation, like in almost everywhere I see. I don't like it. It upsets me because I want growth. I want progression. I want people that want to see us actually compete with the world, right? However, I realize how it's going to be. Like someone in this class, right? So one of us here is going to make enough, and we're going to hire a lobbyist, and our lobbyists are going to push the way. Like we're going to have to fight the same way they fought. The thing is, soon we're going to be the richest people. In the 4 years from now, I really believe everyone here and all of us are going to have the money. And the people that didn't make those decisions and that stuck in their fiat bags, like they're going to be looking to us, and like we're going to be able to pay the lobbyists. We're going to be able to change the laws, and like we're going to be able to actually innovate. So we might have to go the old way for a little while. And we might have to use some of their old tactics to get there. I'm not a fan of it. I don't love it. However, we need to play with their greed a little bit. And like, I agree a little bit with what Altcoin Daily said. Like, him being in there, swinging his influence around is going to help him get his buddies on to make the laws better for us. So, we need a little bit of them. We need a little bit of us. And there has to be an in-between there. I hate giving them more control. And it's not fun for me to see someone like Gensler too. Like I wish he was a little more open. They're trying to use the SEC to regulate other parts of currency that they don't have really. That's not their jurisdiction really. Ben has brought that up a lot. And I appreciate Ben always kind of sticking up for the XRP people too. Like you guys always bring that up at least a couple times a month. I'm a holder of XRP and I've been a holder since it was around 30 cents. So, and I got in at 16 on that nasty dip one day. I always remember it. So thank God. But yeah, so good and bad. I wish we could do it differently. I think we're going to have to assume those roles later on. We'll be the ones to pave the way.
Yeah, good and bad. That is a good way to describe it. There's definitely some pluses. I think there's definitely some negatives to it. But Ben, I'm going to bring it to you for a little bit of a prediction here. So, you know, we see it all the time. We see it in the tobacco industry. We see it in the banking industry, real estate. IRS official goes to a tax auditing software to make it more complex. We see it left and right. You know, Crypto Lifer explained it perfectly. 5 years from now, do you think these regulators go to banking jobs or crypto jobs? Which industry is going to suck in the most?
Well,
Great
that's a good question. But what I would say is the premise of it is wrong. I think the premise of the question is
they're combining.
Yeah. The premise of the question is they're going to be separate, but they're going to be overlapping because the banking system understands if you can't beat them, join them, and that's why there's already laws being put on the books right now to help with the banks, custodying crypto. So, but look, the big money is in crypto, and they're going to move to crypto for the most part. That's why you see, the guy who created the Bit license in New York, he immediately goes and joins, a crypto firm. And we saw it with Brian Brooks. We've seen it with, I think Giancarlo Stanton also. All these guys, when they leave, Jay Clayton, all these guys, when they leave, they go to crypto stuff because, it's the same principle of why there's a lot of stats saying that financial advisors are telling their people not to invest in crypto, and all the financial advisors themselves are investing in crypto. Because when you're exposed to this, when you understand what is coming in the future, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I think it was, what's the guy's name? Trace Meyer, maybe he said it's a once in a species opportunity, right? When it comes to crypto, this is the opportunity, and they see that. And when you're on the inner workings and you see what's coming, there's no other place to be.
All right, I agree. And we're going to go to this last talk about. I'm going to bring it to you first, Jeb, but I wanted to point out, chat, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also in the description, we're going to have all the info for all the guests here. The chat is really liking you, Crypto Lifer. I like this Lifer guy. He seems optimistic and based. All right, well, the fourth topic, AirBNB to accept crypto. That is right. Wow, that's a good graphic. Man, good job. Good job. We got a graphics
graphic.
department here.
That's a nice graphic.
Yeah, the co-founder and CEO Brian Chesky has confirmed that his company, they're already underway with plans to integrate the crypto payments on its platform. I think we most recently saw this with AMC. Now, AMC accepts Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. Now, Jeb, I'm going to bring it to you. Let's assume Bitcoin, let's assume Ethereum, and for the sake of argument, let's assume, a meme coin, right? Doge and Sheep. What is the fifth coin that Crypto Jeb, BNB, is going to accept for payment? You could only choose one. Of all the cryptos, what do you think is going to be best for your books?
Cardano. And the reason is because I've said it many times on this show, the very simple reason why I think Cardano is such a powerful cryptocurrency is because I truly believe that it's the one cryptocurrency that is led by an entrepreneurial leader that understands, and I said this on the Altcoin Daily channel a couple days ago, that you cannot promise value and then try and deliver on it and go and market that promise. You first have to build the value, then deliver it, then market it. There are so many cryptocurrency projects. By the way, Bitcoin and Ethereum are not examples of this, and that's why they're number 1 and 2. There are so many examples of cryptocurrencies that say, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano is the only other big one in the top 3 that says, we are doing this. And before we even think about trying to get the word out there in some massive way and trying to pump ourselves to $500 billion, we're going to build a great product. And that's why I think Cardano is such a good project. But to the root of the question, as far as different companies like Airbnb adopting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, I just want to remind you guys of what I've talked about on this show many times. It's called the S-curve of adoption. Whenever a new technology, literally any piece of tech in the room I'm sitting in, lights, cameras, iPhones, laptops, smartphones, microphones, anything you can think of went through an S-curve of adoption. It started slow, then it hit an inflection point right around the point when about 1 in 10 or 1 in 7 people are using it. Somewhere around 10% to 13% is normally the inflection point of adoption in a community. So 10 to 13% of, the United States was using smartphones, and then they exploded in about 3 years. 10 to 15% of America was using internet and exploded within 3 to 5 years. We're getting there with Bitcoin and crypto. And the thing I want to encourage everybody to remember is that it is almost impossible for an S-curve to hit that inflection point and not go parabolic. I mean, seriously, think about a single technology that penetrated the market to 10 to 13% that died. There's not one. Now, there are different companies that failed. There are different industries that, went through that they had to change their value proposition. Nokia used to be the biggest in phones. I'm not talking about specific companies. I'm not even talking about specific cryptocurrencies, but I am talking about the industries themselves and the technologies themselves. And we're about to hit that inflection point in the next couple of years. I do think it's probably a few years away. And when it happens, it's game over. We're going mainstream. It is unstoppable. We are turning into a force of nature. And by we, I mean cryptocurrency. You can't stop a train that's moving that fast. And it is going to take over the world. And AMC, and I think Regal also adopted it, and AirBNB, all of them adopting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency like this is just more proof that that is coming.
God, one of the reasons I love around the blockchain and on those high fear days, on those red days, we can I don't know if it's we're all sipping the same Kool-Aid, but we can find some optimistic themes here. Now, I see the Litecoin community coming out. If you like Litecoin, please smash that like button. We're already at 1.8. I think we can get to 2,000 by the end of the episode. Let's see, cereal marshmallows. Litecoin gets no respect. All right, maybe that's a danger field or something. This is a minefield we're about to walk in here. Now, when I mention Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin, there's only one guest I want to bring this to. That's Altcoin Daily here. Kind of the opposite question that I asked Jebb. AMC, they do accept Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Now, let's say AirBNB, you must accept one of those. You must accept one. Which of those two coins is Altcoin Daily BNB going to put on their web browser here?
Oh yeah, for me, I'd easily go Litecoin, no question.
Litecoin. All right.
I think the bigger thing is that why is Airbnb doing this all of a sudden? Why is Airbnb doing this? I like to talk like BitBoy does. I think that is because they're hurting. This pandemic is hurting them, just like it's hurting AMC. And they're trying to go wherever there's an audience. They're trying to just be in tune with whatever's going on. And crypto is where it's at. I mean, we've seen time and time again, these people or companies who wouldn't normally be into crypto or Bitcoin, like Michael Saylor back in the day, like the president of El Salvador, as soon as they make Bitcoin or crypto what they're all about and promote it, they get this huge community around them, notoriety that they would not otherwise have gotten. So, crypto doesn't need Airbnb. Airbnb needs something, maybe crypto, but overall, this is good for everybody, and it's good. The fact that these people or companies can get notoriety by coming into crypto, that's great. That's what we want.
All right, breaking news. We're going to bring to the Bitcoin price right now. Chat is letting us know there's another fresh. Probably some longs getting liquidated here. If you want to share the screen on CoinMarketCap, this is the 1 day chart, and that is quite the drop that it has come down to right here. It's a nice little plummet there. So right now it looks like it's holding strong, 42.8. So just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention. Now, Lifer, we had talked, right before the stream that you would actually use the Airbnb not that long ago. If you saw two Airbnbs and they're essentially comparable, but let's just say the crypto one was like, $25 an extra a day. Would you be actually more willing to use the crypto payment houses as kind of a bullish narrative for the industry as a whole?
Guaranteed. Number one, I like to do it. I like to film it. I like to have my editors edit it and put it on the live, right? There was actually one thing I didn't get to is in St. Pete. There's a new cryptocurrency museum, restaurant. They have Doji Sushi, like Doge Sushi, all the names, Bitcoin, you can get a Bitcoin Nana smoothie. Every single name on that entire restaurant is based on crypto coins and stuff. And that guy's going to blow up. He's going to make money. I had that idea 3 or 4 years ago. I was like, I want to make a crypto. Everyone has to pay in crypto. Everything's going to be crypto. Once you just theme that energy, theme that movement, you can sell on that idea. And I can definitely see that propelling. I would do anything to touch. Right now, I go out everywhere I go. I use that, I use that Coinbase card a lot to get that 4% back in XLM, right? And then you can sell the XLM for Bitcoin. So you kind of get 4% back in Bitcoin technically. And I said, if XLM 10Xs, I'm paying 60% for everything I buy. And when I go and get an ice cream or something, the person will look at me and I'll be like, I just bought that with USDC coin. And they'll look at me like, what? And I'm like, yeah, USDC coin, watch my channel. Like I use every transaction, every life moment to push crypto, to tell people who I am, to let them know what's going on. Hey, I just made 4% back. Wouldn't you want to do that? Are you a struggling college kid? What's going on with your life? So I want to use anything possible when it's connected. 25, I'll spend an extra $100. I really will. And to be comfortable, For instance, when I go to Airbnb, I have to bring all my luggage for my stream. I do not miss a stream. My wife was like, I had to bring a monitor, everything, and I have to know how about the Wi-Fi, and it's just, so crypto. So the answer is yes. When I saw this as one of the topics, I got super excited. They should have been doing this a long time ago because they would have had they would have made killing on the 10K
made
Bitcoin.
Some pretty good gains. And you know what? There'd be some people who accepted that. As long as they didn't turn into fiat, they'd be pretty happy too. I'm going to bring it to Ben for the last question, but real quick, Trail Grinder in the chat. Who sponsored that chart? Coinbase? It's a 3K drop that looks like it's 100K. That's pretty funny. It did look pretty drastic. It did look a little scary there. Now, Ben, this question's from J Chains, and I bring it to you because I believe you probably purchased the most with crypto. So J Chains is wondering, why do so many people want to pay for goods and services with crypto? What is the benefit?
Well, you can get a cup of coffee for digital money.
Yeah, that's what they say. You get a coffee.
You can look. That is the litmus test in crypto. If you have a legitimate crypto project, you can buy a cup of coffee with it. There you go. Nothing else. That's it. That's all you get.
That's it.
I want coffee now.
You don't want to get a scone or cheese Danish. Just the cup of coffee. That's all you do. You don't get a macchiato. Okay, you don't get a latte, even though latte boy is a thing. Look, I don't. Here is the advantage of using crypto to buy things right now in the current world that we live in. You can take profits. It's a way you can take profits off the table. You just spend it. You spend it. You're pulling profits. If you're up, it's a good way for you to. That's why we use the crypto.com debit card. We talk about it. You get bitboycrypto.com/deals. Go down. Crypto.com's a partner of ours, has been for years at this point, because we've always said in a bull run it's great to spend your crypto. In a bear market, it's not good to spend your crypto because then you're using it at the bottom if you're using it at the top. And let's face facts, Bitcoin's at 42.9 right now, or 43K even. It's a long ways from where it was in the bear market, even with this drop we've had. Okay, so if you're taking profits even here, you're still doing pretty well if you've been in since the bear market. So that's the only advantage I see now. One day we'll all be using CBDCs.
Yeah, and that is all we got time for. I do want to end it with a quote from Nick Carter, and he says, "Why do I spend my crypto?" I believe I'm paraphrasing slightly. Well, I'm not an immortal being, and I do have to spend my money. So that is all we got, though. And it looks like Jebb is going to be the winner. Lifer almost got it on his first time, but Jebb had that solid TA, man. It was that.
You did great, Lifer. It was good.
It was the ascending triangle.
You got that energy, man. I go hard on my stream. I watch your stream, and then being live with you right now and feeling your vibe, dude, impressive.
Yeah. It's like that cup of coffee we bought with the crypto. It's like we took an espresso.
I love you all. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for bringing me on today. You guys changed my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just want to say thank you, Ben, for everything you do, man. Thank you.
Lifer, the chat loves you. I hope you get a little surge and subscribe. Again, go to the description. The info for all the channels are there, so definitely check that out. But Jebb, go ahead. Leave us with some parting thoughts, please.
Sure. Just really quickly, guys, Bitcoin's down $3,000 or whatever. I'm going to give you one piece of mindset that I think will help. Price follows development, not the other way around. Has the development of the space increased in the last 12 months? Absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt. The price has more or less moved sideways for 12 months. The price follows the development. Don't get too worried about the price. Focus on the development. The price will come with the development. I think you see where I'm going with that. Be calm. It's all going to be fine.
All right, and that is all we got time for today, BitSquad. And until next time, the DZ out.